gold.
All right, check that out. We're going to take a break. We got more coming up here. As we continue, we're going to look ahead to the weekend series coming up against the Rockies, and Carlos Rodon leading things off.
Here comes the heat.
Say hello to the Bronx Buds, Yes's first ever animated series for the whole family.
See ya! And the crowd goes wild!
Now streaming. Join Riv, Bash, Oscar, and the rest of their gang for a baseball adventure around the Big Apple.
Bronx pride is on the line.
Hexclad presents Bronx Buds, now streaming exclusively on the Yes app. Brought to you by Hexclad.
Mwah. Magnifico.
That's Aaron Judge. Yeah.
Sometimes you get the feeling you're watching a Hall of Famer right in the middle of his prime.
The captain is rolling.
They're going to need a longer tape measure.
A monster blast. See ya. Wow.
Wounded Warrior Project has been with me every step of my journey.
Aaron, how you doing, buddy?
With experiences that help me realize that I'm not alone.
And specialized programs that give me the tools to train my body and mind.
Now it's possible for me to get back out there.
To get out of my comfort zone and try new things.
To build and be part of a community that supports other warriors.
It's possible to get the help I need for me and my family.
I got my confidence back. I'm setting goals and I'm achieving them.
It's possible to feel understood, whether it's day one or 20 years down the road, they've got your back.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, Wounded Warrior Project is adapting to meet them.
Because when we pull together,
it's possible to go further than you ever imagined.
When you need a fighter, you need us. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Most insurance companies are big, really big. Imagine you're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Our results and reputation are well known to the other side. As America's largest injury firm, our Army will fight like hell for you. We have the resources to take on the biggest insurance companies in America. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Our pal Sarah Lang's tweeting a dazzling fact, Jack. Today was the first time in franchise history the Yankees allowed a hit to the first batter they faced and then none the rest of the game. And it really was great pitching from Cole, Hill, Weaver, and Tonkin.
That is a dazzling fact because that was a clean single from Kwan. You're not even thinking about a no-hitter at that point. And then as the game escalates and unfolds and you see the way Cole is pitching, even though he pitched around some command issues, you're reminded late in this game the Guardians only have one hit, so a great job by the Yankee pitchers, especially Cole, setting the tone.
Now, we were sitting at the set. The Yankees won the game. Jack has to come up with his Yes Press headline, and I noticed you came up with it pretty fast. So the boys in the back, they weren't chipping the rock that much. Like, they got the headline, they printed it up. What do they
got to remember about day game after a night game.
Yeah.
So I had to give them the night off. I was just working solo today. I did amend it after the 27th out, but I'm going strictly with the facts today. The facts of this game are simple. Cole gets 150th win by firing 6 zeros, and Judge and Big G are home run heroes.
That's one of your best, I think. There's no doubt about it.
Lay it out for the folks. Give them a little rhyme time.
Did you mean for rhyme time to rhyme as well? That worked out well.
It did work, but I am a freestyle rapper on my side gig, so I'm allowed to do that.
We know that. There's no doubt about that. Well, I don't know if you're going to freestyle rap anything about this weekend series against the Rockies, but here's what it's going to start off with. Kyle Freeland going for the Rocks against Carlos Rodon. All the games on Yes. Want to remind you, Saturday our coverage begins at 11:30 because it is Old Timers Day, and we'll be out at Yankee Stadium. But Rodon trying to get them going in the right direction. They come off 2 or 3 against a really good Guardians team. Now they take on the Rockies.
And his last start, he got in trouble fast. By the 4th inning of that game, the Yankees were down 4-0. He had some misplaced fastballs that he talked about. And I was intrigued by the conversation Meredith had with Andy Pettit before the game, in which he was talking to Rodon about some release point issues. And you could see Pettit and Rodon really getting into it on the outfield grass as he was trying to make some adjustments. So we'll see if those mechanical changes are a factor tomorrow. But we mentioned this before this series, Bob. The Yankees got to win games at home. And now that's 2 of 3 at home. This is a bad Rockies team. You got to take advantage of them.
All right, we're going to find out what happens starting at 6 o'clock on Friday. It is All Access with Meredith Marakovitz, expecting to have Jazz Chisholm on the show. She was in my office with Jack yesterday. Full-blown feature on that, apparently. And then our coverage will follow that with the pregame at 6:30. First pitch a little after 7 o'clock. Yankees win it by afternoon. Paul's got to go get some new clothes because he spilled coffee on himself. We'll see if he's got things all straightened out on Friday night at 6. Take care.
This has been a presentation of the Yes Network.
Soaring into history.
Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees.
Getting a fresh deal at Subway has never been easier. Just buy any footlong in the app, get another free. The only hard part is telling Travis he doesn't get to suck him footlong.
Wait, seriously?
I got you next time, buddy. Order now in the Subway app.
A world-class franchise with world-class fans deserves a world-class ride. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Visit your local tri-state Audi dealer to experience the 2024 Audi Q5 today.
You're living with roommates and managing fine. Even if this one bedroom is shared by 9. Ooh, that's a lot of people. Just remember to take life one spoonful at a time and go. Go to your Skippy place.
Say hello to the Bronx Buds. Yes's first ever animated series for the whole family.
And the crowd goes wild.
Hexclad presents Bronx Buds, now streaming exclusively on the Yes app.
Magnifico.
At First Tee, we teach kids how to play golf. But that's not our end game. Golf is simply our means to teach life lessons that build inner strength, self-confidence, and resilience.
It's more than a game. It helps them be more independent, more secure. It has given them more confidence, and I think that helps them with everything else.
Come join us at First Tee.
A waterfall made of fire. Goats that defy gravity. A turning point in history. A palace carved out of clay. A place where we grew wings. A thunderstorm beneath your feet. An eternal torch and an enduring dream. National parks are extraordinary. So is the support you give them.
Okay, let's go. Top row.
E-Y-E-C-A-R-E?
Good. Next row.
A-M America? iCareAmerica.org?
Yes. I Care America helps seniors who haven't had a medical eye exam in 3 or more years. They also help those with an increased risk for glaucoma, and the appointment is often free or at no out-of-pocket cost. It's easy to see if you qualify. Go to EYECareAmerica.org.
The Michael K. Show on Yes is brought to you by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
According to the great Sarah Langs from ESPN, the first hitter of the game, Don and Peter, Stephen Kwan, got a clean single to right center field. The Guardians did not get another hit the rest of the way. That's the first time in the history of Yankee baseball that the leadoff hitter got a hit and no one got a hit after that.
Huh.
How about that?
That's just kind of a wacky thing.
That's a wacky, fun thing.
I'm sure it's happened like hundreds of times. Just that it's never happened with the Yankees is kind of crazy.
I bet you it hasn't happened hundreds of times.
I'm sure it has.
If a guy gets a leadoff hit, it usually is a portent of things to come.
I don't know. But baseball's been around a long time, Michael. I don't know if you noticed. It was 1869. I'm sure it's happened over 100 times.
I think you're
That's
wrong.
what I would say. And the other thing, the great thing about sports, but baseball specifically, is things you don't see every day. Now, the rule is new, but still, a clock violation before the inning started? Yeah, how often do you see that?
I've seen it a couple times this year.
Not as fun a stat. Because what did he? Because I was listening to it because I was driving in. Did he throw too many warm-up pitches?
He threw. The guy said, "Okay, you're done," and he after he said you're done, he threw one more.
See,
that's
I don't mean this pejoratively.
Oh, okay, here we go.
You're never that way.
But Cole can be that guy.
Oh, well, he is that guy.
No, he's persnickety. He really is. He's still mad at Billy Crystal.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, especially when it comes to warm-ups. Like, he takes that stuff very seriously.
It ended up being a leadoff walk. It didn't cost him, but still, it was, in a scoreless game, and at that particular moment, I mean, I don't know if the percentages still stand, but, leadoff walks, like 30% of the time lead to a run. But
well, 60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, you could make light of him. I think that's what makes him great. He's such a creature of habit.
But that's why
everything has to be the way he wants it to be.
That's why I didn't say it pejoratively, because I don't mean it as a negative. I just think that he is that guy. Mike Messina was that way too. And he was
well, you could say pejoratively about Messina.
Well, you could.
That's okay.
You could, because you've had to deal with it. You had to deal with that
I think Garrett Cole's a delight.
Right.
Mike Messina, I wouldn't describe him that way.
Exactly. But from a pitching standpoint and how everything had to be perfect, they are quite similar in that sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
He would be just as mad at Billy Crystal as Cole would.
Yeah,
it just
that was odd, though.
What, the Crystal
the Billy
stuff?
Crystal stuff. I mean, I know it. It still kind of irks Billy Crystal because he really respects the game. He doesn't feel like he was lingering out there. He went out, threw the pitch, and that was it. And Garrett thought it went on too long. Do you see what I was given today, guys?
What's that?
You were given something.
I was given new mic clips. ESPN New York, it says. Look at it.
Let me see.
Holding it up right now. It's a delight.
I put mine up yesterday.
So tomorrow, see the one at the bottom of my microphone says 98.7 ESPN. After tomorrow, this means nothing. It's a collector's item, 98.7, because there's not going to be anything but tone on 98.7.
Is that true?
They don't have another station taking over.
By the way, that can't be what you want.
No, it's not what you want. So that means you're paying for the electricity and nobody's paying you anything for it.
That's right.
Well, that with all due respect to the former owner of my company, Jeff Simulian.
That's right.
That makes me feel like you may have misevaluated the price of the signal.
Maybe.
Well, that's on him. But we're good. We're on 880, and we were trying to tell people, Michael, that 1050 is still a thing as well. We're going to have all our network programming there. We're going to start or maybe finish our shows on 1050 when there are Met conflicts on 880.
But, of course, the ESPN New York app all the time.
Right, and Knicks and Ranger games might find themselves on 1050 going up against Mets, or maybe there'll be a Ranger game on 1050 when there's a Knick game at the same time. So make sure when you do reset your preset that right alongside 880, you make room for 1050.
But what a beautiful state to see, because, Michael, there was a lot of panic, a lot of doom and gloom originally about us just being 1050. I mean,
just on this show.
Just on this show, and certainly through other people I talked to as well.
But you know what? We believed in our bosses, and we said we will go into the fire with you.
Sure, exactly. And I also, I had concerns. I enjoy the 1050 signal, but sometimes I'm out on Long Island, and or I'm in New Jersey, and I go, the signal's not so great.
That your voice goes up that high when you talk about 1050.
Yeah, but the 880. Oh, my voice gets deep for that.
Oh, my God. It's a powerhouse. A flamethrower, they call it.
Yeah, a powerhouse
Is that
signal.
what this is?
Yeah, they call it a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's not a pea shooter.
No, it's not a pea shooter. Remember when we were a pea shooter and then we turned out not to be? We turned out to be a Scud missile?
I remember it.
Good times.
Yeah, there was a Hawk Tua moment.
I've got breaking news for you, Peter.
Okay.
Yesterday, remember Sister Jean?
Oh, of course.
From Loyola's men's basketball team?
How could you forget her? She's a legend.
105th birthday yesterday. And yes, I would sign up.
You would take 105?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair. And she's still trucking along.
Yeah. It's doing great. Happy
For her,
birthday.
Hey, Michael, I'm looking. I think Awful Announcing might have made the correction already.
And you know what? Let's really lift up the curtain.
Yep.
Do you know why?
It's Alex.
The most competent human being that works for ESPN. I mean, there's a lot of competent people. They're great people that work there.
Yeah, baby.
But Alex
Awesome,
Fuse
Alex Fuse
is unbelievable. If it has to get done, Alex Fuse will get it done. And Alex Fuse got it done.
Now, will this sway you? He texted me a few moments ago.
Right.
To say how much he loves when Richard from Manhattan calls.
Well, I didn't say he was a perfect human being. I think he loves train wrecks. That's why he loves it.
Well, I think that's why all people love Richard.
Yeah. I got you.
Just to clean it up, we will still physically be on 98.7 through the end of the month.
Can I also lift the curtain? That was a text from John Winthrop just then. Am I right?
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah, that was Anthony Pusick.
Well, because next week, you'll be able to hear both.
Right.
But we still want people to be making the move to 8-8.
But he said there was going to be tone. I don't want people to think that Michael was disrespectful.
Well, no, at the end of this month, when the lease expires, there will be tone.
Do you guys
there will be blood.
I love that movie.
Do you guys know that after the program ends next Thursday, do you know what I'm doing?
Another vacation?
No.
I'm going straight. I am going straight to JFK, though.
For what?
Yeah, this is awesome.
Hopping on a flight to Berlin.
Berlin, Michael.
How about that?
To go to the wall?
To the Bash at Berlin, WWE.
Wow.
That's right. A quick Labor Day trip. It's like every classic Labor Day trip to Berlin. You know,
it's like
quick
the NFL
weekend.
schedule. You're just throwing a game in Brazil
or Berlin.
Berlin, Brazil. Like I'm saying,
They
just
do both.
random. But they should incorporate the wall into the wrestling. Is there any remnants of it left?
I'm going to find out.
I'm sure it's got to be up there.
Come on,
because there's a wall from Forbes Field in Pittsburgh.
Right.
You got to have the Berlin Wall.
Well, I think there's a different meaning between those two walls.
Or maybe that. Remember the video of the guy like hammering the hole. Maybe that hammer can get used in one of the events, one of the matches.
It's the hammer that broke down the wall.
Yeah. And can you incorporate like?
Wait, hold on. You mean like in the Gunther Randy Orton match?
Right.
Randy goes under the ring and finds the hammer they used to break down the Berlin Wall.
And then you have a split screen of him hammering the wrestler, and then when it actually happened back then, a lot of tear down.
Maybe we get Reagan to show up. A Reagan spot.
You know what you should do, Peter? You should find, because I'm sure that there's got to be a part of the wall still standing, and you should open up the broadcast and say, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall," and then boom, run the credits.
That's how I'm going to suggest that to the powers that be. You know. By the way, Germany, the birthplace of Mindy Rosenberg, and I've never been.
Is that true?
That's a fact.
Are you going to the hospital where she was born?
I don't believe she was born in a. I don't wonder if it was a hospital. She was born in a displaced persons camp.
So
I don't
there
know
was
if
a
they
doula.
I don't know if it was a doula. I don't know if it was like a small medical area. I don't know how that worked, actually. I feel like I should ask.
Maybe you should honor the site, find out exactly where it is. It's probably like a Starbucks now.
Do you think it would work if I just go on... If I go into Google and just type in, "Where was my mom born?"
Speaking of Starbucks, what a moment today in the broadcast.
Go ahead.
Paul O'Neill makes a great, cogent point about before Aaron Judge hit the home run, he sold out on a first pitch fastball. And Paul saw it live and told our truck, "Get that pitch, and I'll show what he did." And he showed what he did, and he said, "And watch." And Judge is so he knew exactly what he did. He was laughing at himself. And then he recalibrated and hit the home run. And he makes this point, and he moves his hand, like proudly, and spills an entire cup of coffee over the whole table, all over his pants, and all hilarity ensued.
Really?
Oh, it was great.
How bad was the stainage?
Oh, it was terrible stainage. Ruined all of his notes. His
What color
jeans were a
pantaloons?
mess.
Oh, well, if he was Don, that means he might not keep the
I don't
notes.
think Paul saves his notes the way I do.
No.
Oh, no. They barely get through 9 innings. Forget about going to the basement. Anyway, so the Judge home run today, and we were talking about this at the end of the 4 o'clock hour, and we just want to talk to fans in general. Do you enjoy the journey, people? Do you enjoy the journey? Or all of it depends. All of it's contingent upon whether or not you win a championship. Because You know, Don's kind of taken the other side today, which might lend some to think he's a colossal phony because he doesn't enjoy the fact that the Mets went to the NLCS against the Cardinals. He doesn't enjoy the Andy Chavez catch because they didn't win a championship.
Well, wait a minute.
No, that's exactly what you said over the years.
But
didn't happen. Jeter's catch in the stands didn't happen.
But again, did I enjoy the catch in the moment?
I don't know.
Of course I did, because I thought it was going to help them win.
All right, so if Judge hits 70 home runs this year and the Yankees don't win a World Series, Yankee fans should look back at that fondly?
Michael, it was a nice catch, okay? But it did come in Game 7 that they lost. So
I get it.
In the micro, in that moment, I'm sorry, Carlos Beltran striking out is going to trump the catch because it all happened in that same game.
Why bring politics into it? Why? I don't get it.
But the point is, for the Mets to have a bobblehead over it, I thought was a little much.
But you don't enjoy the moment. You're an animal.
But I'm guilty of it too sometimes. But, you know, the Robin Ventura grand single, I mean, I just think it's a little embarrassing. They wouldn't let him round the bases. That's all those are the points I'm trying to make. And then for it to age into, like a few years later, the top 3 moment in Mets history, no, I'm not going to acknowledge that as great. But I can acknowledge that if the Mets win 92 games and it's a fun season and they end up losing out to the Braves in game 162, that as disappointed as I would be that the season is over, I can look back at 2024 and say, you know what, that was a lot of fun. That was a fun season. When I was on with Dave Rothenberg for the 1050.
Where do you see the podcast going? Do you have a co-host?
I meant to play.
David Rosenberg.
Thank you. Yeah. My top 5 that day was top 5 greatest Giant seasons that didn't result in a Super Bowl. To a lot of people, they would be like, why would you even remember any of those seasons? But there are seasons that I look back and say, I had fun that season, even though the Giants didn't win.
Well,
so I think you can appreciate certain things, but like a great catch celebrated with a bobblehead in a game that you eventually lost later on, a few innings later, to me, that's just stupid.
So you're not happy with the way the Mets are doing business?
Not then.
Now, my plea to everybody is that we're seeing something very special. Not just Judge, but Soto, too. I don't know if we'll see it again. And when it happened in 2022, I didn't know. My guess would be that we wouldn't see it. That was a one-off season. It's turned out not to be a one-off season. Aaron Boone talked about it after the game. Yankees won 6-0. He was asked about the possibility of Judge breaking his own home run record.
No, but I guess we're on the on-pace portion of the season.
Yeah.
Look, anything's possible with him. You know, I think he just wants to be great every day and help us win. So nothing would surprise me.
Garrett Cole, who picked up his 150th career win and 5th win of the season, he talked about another historic season by Judge.
Just, you know, historic. I mean, it's so impressive because, you know, when you look around the league and you see guys with high batting averages, 330, 340, 350, and guys in the past, like, there's a fair amount of bunt hits and infield hits. This guy's sitting at 330, and I'm not quite sure he has an infield hit all year. I mean, they're all doubles and homers. So it's like, there's no one that can compare to him. Certainly not walking around right now. I mean, outside of Bonds. I mean, so it's just what a wonderful experience to have him on my team, you know, be around him.
You know what I get, Don and Peter, and this is why I know it's special? Garrett Cole, very erudite, tongue-tied, doesn't even know how to say. I think in the last 2 days, Paul O'Neill has said, I don't know what more to say. I've never seen anything like this. We're watching something that it's not normal. And I thought that Cole brought a great, there's no infield hits here. There's no dunkers and bleeders or stuff like that. Everything he hits is a bullet. Somehow he's cut down on his strikeouts. He's raised his batting average, and he's on pace to hit 61 home runs. So let's hear from Aaron Judge after today's win. And he was asked about the possibility of being the first person with 60 or more home runs in multiple seasons.
If it comes with a ring and a lot of fun in the playoffs, then definitely that'd be cool. But like I said the other day, I'm just trying to do whatever I can each day to put ourselves in a good position to win a ball game, and you know, especially these games against Cleveland, who we'll definitely see down the road, and we're fighting for the best record in the AL. I'm just trying to do my part. That's it.
I think, I wonder if you back me up on this, Don. Now, Aaron answered the way he has to answer. But the words of Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter, it only continues to perpetuate that nothing counts unless we win.
Yeah.
So he was asked, well, what would it mean if you hit 60 home runs and multiple? It would mean something if we won. No, it would mean something even if you don't win, Aaron.
But you see, is it the fans taking the cue from the players, or the players taking the cue from the fans?
That's a good point. I don't know.
Because Judge is smart enough to know that if he did have that one moment where he kind of relished in what he was doing and put himself in front of the team, that there would be those people out there going, was he worried about home runs? Well, we're about winning a championship. So I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. But I thought the exact same thing you did, that he's kind of feeding that fuel into it's a championship or nothing. I can't enjoy it. But I'm sorry, he could say all that, Michael, but if they end up losing in the playoffs, or if he goes back and thinks about 2022, he has to be proud of that moment. Maybe he won't say it publicly because they didn't win and he doesn't want to do that. But come on, how do you not take pride in breaking a record, the Major League, the American League home run record? You got to take pride in that. But he probably knows that this is not the city in which you can do that.
Let's take some phone calls, 1-800-919-3776. Before we do, I want to go inside the numbers, brought to you by Eisner Amper. Francisco Lindor is the third player in Mets history with multiple 25 or more home run and 25 or more stolen base seasons joining. Do you want to know who he joins?
So say it again, I'm sorry.
25 or more home runs, 25 or more stolen bases same season. Multiple times.
Multiple times.
It's only two other Mets that have done it.
Two other Mets. Well, I would think Howard Johnson.
Oh, look at you. He did it 3 times.
And Strawberry.
Oh, you know what?
It's a professional.
He's a god.
Well, I think
that's
strong.
more than a professional.
God is strong. I'll take it.
He's a Met fan.
Lower. You're a Met fan god.
Yeah.
Strawberry did it 5 times. Johnson did it 3. That
Hojo
is Don being the god, and it's also inside the numbers, brought to you by Eisner Amper, a leading business advisory firm helping clients create a winning game plan. To transform knowledge into action for your business, check out Eisner Amper Solutions Insight Resources at eisneramper.com/solutions. Now let's take some phone calls. Let's go to Dave in the car. Dave.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. What's up?
What's up?
Good, good. 100% you have to enjoy the moment. I'm coming from the game right now, and, I mean, it's absolutely amazing what Judge is doing. I think it's actually ironic that Giancarlo said that after the game that, you know, he's playing video games while they're all grinding it out. Meanwhile, Giancarlo was the one that took a low and away pitch and kind of muscled it out to the farthest place in the stadium. So he's not doing too bad himself. But it's just infectious. You feel it throughout the lineup. I had a quick question. When Volpe takes third base late in the game there, is he doing that completely on his own volition, you know, just trying to pump himself up, kind of get hot again, or is he getting a sign that's telling him to go?
I think, Dave, that he has a green light to go whenever he wants until he's given a red light, if that makes sense. So I don't think they tell him to steal the bag. He's automatic when he steals third. So he sees value in it, and there is value in it because then you're putting pressure on the catcher to block the ball in the dirt. I think that's on him. It's not as if he was told. I don't think he's trying to pump himself up, but he's an automatic stolen base when he goes from second to third. So that's the answer that I have for you. Let's go to Paul in Babylon. Paul.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Good. How you doing, Paul?
Pretty good. So, Michael, before I get to my question, you and I actually have a mutual friend in common.
Who?
Okay, that's as mutual friends tend to be.
Yes, of course. Mr. Steve Costello. He's actually on his way to my house. I thought I'd throw that out there. So,
good.
So, Michael, as the year kind of winds down here, and they have some of these pitchers coming back up, you know, from rehab stints. You got Clark, you got Marinaccio. I saw is on that list. What are they going to do with this bullpen? I mean, is Clay Holmes going to be the closer? What do you think?
I think that Clay Holmes will be the closer, but there will be days that they match up differently. It's going to be interesting to see how they make room, Paul, for Ian Hamilton, for Birdie, for Efros. I mean, you probably think, okay, Tim Mesa will go. That's one. But they also have to make room for Clark Schmidt, who's going to go for him. Marinaccio's down in the minors. They don't have to make room for him. It's not like he's injured and they're waiting to have him come back up. He's actually pitched well in the minors, but they haven't used him. So the only guy of the people that are coming up, I think that would probably fall under the heading of somebody that could close would be Hamilton. But, whenever you worry about this sort of thing, what happens? Somebody gets hurt. But they are going to have to make room. I mean, will it be Tonkin? We'll have to see. They will make room somehow. And remember, on September 1st, you could add 2 more players. So that's another consideration. Hey, not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. Hey, it's Michael K.
The Michael K. Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
This summer, live life the way you want, with comfort and style that's truly untucked. At Untuck It, we create the perfect fitting casual styles from head to toe for every body. And yes, we've got styles for her too. We believe everyone should get to look and feel their best because life's moments are better lived untucked. Untuck It. Visit untuckit.com or more than 80 stores worldwide.
Popeyes has the best of both wings. Our juicy chicken is marinated to perfection with 2 distinct twists on all 6 flavors. Whether you prefer our spicy bone-in wings or our classic tender white meat boneless wings, we've got the best of both.
The mood can strike at any time. And with Cialis Daily, you're always ready to perform. Medication is prescribed online and delivered discreetly to you. Get a 3-month trial pack at TryRexMD.com.
Here comes the heat.
Say hello to the Bronx Buds, Yes's first ever animated series for the whole family.
And the crowd goes wild.
Now streaming. Join Riv, Bash, Oscar, and the rest of their gang for a baseball adventure around the Big Apple.
Bronx Pride is on the line.
Hexclad presents Bronx Buds. Now streaming exclusively on the Yes app. Powered by Buy-Cow Auto Mall.
Magnifico.
Did you receive a call or message that mentioned Social Security and demanded immediate action? Did the caller know your Social Security number or other personal information and tell you that your Social Security number had been used in connection with a crime? Did you feel worried that your Social Security number might be suspended, your bank account might be frozen or seized, or you could be arrested? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, demand your personal information, or instant payment, email or text you pictures or documents, or use a real government official's name to gain your trust. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Do not be fooled. Hang up. Ignore them. Report this criminal activity to the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Hello, I'm Dennis Quaid. For years, Tunnel to Towers has demonstrated a commitment to first responders and military families. They've paid off mortgages and built specially adapted smart homes. Now the foundation is expanding its mission to eradicate veteran homelessness. Please give our veterans a chance to reclaim their dignity by donating at t2t.org.
This is you, and this is your first hunch of the season. It's parlay time. With FanDuel, a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV will give you many more. Buffalo. It's Broncos time. Psst, I'd take the over. And you can easily act on whichever one speaks to you. Eagles, Browns, Broncos, Bills, they all... And make every moment more.
New customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. Plus, every customer gets a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV. Only from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Listen, I spotted it from the start. Breaking didn't even have a name yet. Bunch of kids from the South Bronx who didn't just knock on the door, they kicked it down. And today, it's your time. It's all about spotting it early. And if you do, no victory is out of reach.
Acura summer a performance event going on now.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. These highlights from earlier today between the Yankees and Cleveland are brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Tomorrow night, the Yankees homestand continues when they welcome in the Colorado Rockies for a 3-game set. Our coverage begins with Yankees batting practice today at 6, followed by the pregame show at 6:30, and first pitch is scheduled for a little after 7. It's the Yankees and the Rockies tomorrow night. Coverage starting with BPTV at 6 right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
Move, which bodes well for tomorrow. They sent Oswald Peraza down to the minors. There's no corresponding move, but Jazz Chisholm Jr. is eligible to come off the IL tomorrow, so that's probably the move. And, boy, that lineup looks a whole lot different if Jazz Chisholm Jr. is playing third base. This portion of the Michael K. Show on 98.7 ESPN, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of New Rochelle, proud member of the Pepe Auto Group, the name you've trusted since 1968. 1-800-919-3776. That is the number.
I'm just looking at the picture of Michael and Paul with Manny from Queens, the winner of the ESPN New York.
Oh.
Be in the booth with Michael K.
Oh, God bless.
And do you know that I told him that he had to reset to 880?
Yeah, you let him know.
Yeah, and he said, I know.
Now, is Manny the one with the backwards hat?
Yes, I believe that's Manny.
So the one that looks like Bob Raceman, that's his friend?
Well, no. Bob Raceman has hair on the side, doesn't he?
I wouldn't know.
This guy,
I just go by a picture that probably was from 30 years ago.
You love Bob Raceman, though. He's kind to you.
But
he's your guy. You love Bob.
Come on, you cannot go by what people's picture looks like in the paper.
I think Joel Sherman's picture is representative of us, and Mike Vaccaro's picture, John Heyman. They all look like they look in the picture. Good newspapers update the pictures.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You know what good newspapers have to do?
Tell me.
Stop having like headlines that make it sound like something important was said, and then you dig into the article and realize the words that they used in the headline were literally quoted from an anonymous tweet from a stranger.
So let me ask you a question, Peter.
Go ahead, I'm here.
And I do it with all due respect.
Okay.
You read the story, didn't you?
Oh, so that's all it's about then.
But that's the thing.
Mission accomplished. Well, they want you to read the story.
That doesn't mean
for the record, not every outlet operates that way.
A lot of them do, even the esteemed Times.
Well, let's be honest. The Times has lost some esteem.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not exactly the New Yorker anymore, or they've taken a step back.
I don't think the New Yorker's a New Yorker anymore.
Well, the New Yorker is not the New Yorker anymore in some senses. Certainly, the article they wrote about my guy Hassan Minhaj was not a great moment for them, where they played gotcha journalism. But the articles still don't have headlines that go, I quit my job as a teacher to become a Hooters waitress, and look how much money I'm making with a half-naked photo. That's not. And
then that sound you hear is Peter, click.
You know what, Michael? It's not all about clicks, okay? It's not supposed to be.
But unfortunately, that's the world we live in. It's all about clicks. All about clicks. Billy Joel's going to redo that song. Let's go to Memphis in Bayside. What a great name. Is that your name, Memphis? I love it. How'd that come about?
They named me after the guy from Gone in 60 Seconds.
All right, well, lost a little bit there, but keep going.
Anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about Garrett Cole's likelihood to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he's
in. He has 150 wins now. People are saying that, like, the expectation to get 300 wins is going down to maybe 200. he has 150. Do you think he can get the extra 50 wins before the end of his career?
Oh, I mean, if he doesn't, the Yankees are not going to be thrilled with the end of that contract. So,
no,
I think he's getting in. He's got a Cy Young Award. Obviously, he'd like to add a championship in there as well. Hey, listen, Memphis, it has to change. It has to change. It can't be 300 as the benchmark. I'm sorry. There's just people. They don't allow people to win games anymore.
But we'll see how things go. And as you said, I don't think he could help but win 200 games based on his age and how well he's pitching. But I don't even think it's about him compiling to a certain number. Michael, he's been the best pitcher in baseball for a while now. So I think if his career ended today, I think he'd get serious consideration. And it's not going to end today. But if he ended up having 2 or 3 really great seasons, Michael, and fell short of 200, I still think he gets in the Hall. I don't think he has to get to 200 wins.
If Natalie and I are lucky enough to have a child one day, I plan on naming it Castor, after Castor Troy from Face Off.
Can I ask you a question? I'm sorry that I'm such a nerd, a square.
Mm-hmm.
He said who he was named after.
Right.
And you shot him down right away. What was that?
Good. The movie Gone in 60 Seconds. It was a character in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds,
right.
A Nick Cage movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, but why did that make you so sick?
Oh, it's just like so random. I mean, it's not exactly an iconic. It's not like I'm trying to find of like.
If he was conceived in Memphis, it would be more interesting.
Oh, that would have made more sense. Or like, Don, if you're going to tell me you're named after a character in a movie, it's got to be an iconic movie. Gone in 60
like
Seconds.
Dorothy. I'm named after Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz.
Or, by the way, even Dorothy from Golden Girls. I take over Memphis from Gone in 60 Seconds. I mean, it's like being like, oh, my name's Turner. And you go, oh, really? Are you named after Nat Turner? No, it's Tom Hanks from Turner and Hooch. It's just not what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I love it. Goldberg in Merrick.
It's a pleasure. Appreciate everything.
Now, how'd you get the name Goldberg?
Is that your last name, or your parents named you after the wrestler?
The wrestler or the TV show?
I was named after the guy from Gone in 60 Seconds. No,
there's a Goldberg in there?
Oh, excellent Goldberg.
Gone in 60 Seconds. Gone in 60 Seconds was a great movie.
I know. Listen, I know Nick Cage people feel very strong.
If it was from the 74 version of the film, then maybe that would be cool.
I didn't even know there was a 74 version.
I will tell you, I was in college when Bill Goldberg came out, and it was an unbelievable time in my life. It really was.
God bless. It must have been.
God
You're
bless
funny,
you, right?
Goldberg.
We like you, Goldberg.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friends. I love you guys. Listen, 2 quick points. First of all, you got to enjoy this Judge run and this Soto run. You have to. I'm sitting here with my father talking about Mickey Mantle and talking about Roger Maris and Lou Gehrig.
See, that's awesome.
And we're talking about, my daughter's running in and going, the Judge hit another one. These are the very special moments, and all we want is a ring. That's what we want. Quick question to the guys. We'll throw it out at Kay first. Let's just say Ben Rice, who I love, by the way, and I think he's the future. And you have DJ, which I'm really sad of what's going on with DJ this year because there's a place for him in our hearts. And then you have the man Rizzo, who I love as a Yankee. All 3 of them. Who's the starting first baseman? What are we doing? Yeah, it's
not even
right,
a second thought. Because let's look at it this way, Goldberg. Ben Rice was 0 for 2 today with a walk and a sac fly. He's 1 for his last 25. He's hitting 180.
Mm-hmm.
DJ LeMahieu, every single metric that you can measure is terrible. Anthony Rizzo, even if he's not the Anthony Rizzo from the Cubs that hit 32 home runs, even when he was struggling at the beginning of the year, even last year when he was trying to hit with a concussion, was a more highly productive player than either of those guys. Anthony Rizzo is your first baseman.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I just don't know why we're still running DJ out there. Like, let Ben have his time in there, and they're trying to get him in. And I love DJ, but it's not working. It's just not working.
Well, I think that's probably the prevailing thought, Goldberg, and we thank you for the phone call. But the Ben Rice option has not played out of late. He's 1 for 25. So, I mean, if you want to ask a question, you could say, well, why aren't they putting Oswaldo Cabrera at first? I mean, is he that much different defensively than LeMahieu? He's not going to embarrass you, and he has actually hit pretty well. So, I think tomorrow Anthony Rizzo is going to have his he's going to have a rehab assignment commence with Somerset Patriots. So it's a matter of time. Now, I got to ask you guys a question. So we just brought up Nick Cage. I don't know if you saw this at the beginning of the week. Nick Cage, in a biographical movie, is playing John Madden. Do you see it? Can you grasp it? Will you accept it?
Not based on the picture in my head of Nicolas Cage.
Right.
But how's he doing?
I don't know.
You're saying, I think what Don's saying is that if Nick Cage just let himself go and fallen apart a bit, then he could give you Madden.
But
I'm sure that he seems like one of the actors that if they say gain 70 pounds, he'll gain 70 pounds.
But I don't think well, obviously it's going to be about his whole career. But if it's a really focused to start about him as coach of the Raiders, like he was heavier, but he wasn't like morbidly obese. I mean, he gained a few pounds. I think he passed it off. But what is it about, Anthony?
It's centered around the Madden video game and the creation of the video game.
But he's playing Madden.
Correct.
But so is that it's about the creation of the video game? Is he the star of that though?
This was an ENN story. I had it last week.
I wonder if it's a lead, but I wonder if he's the lead as
Nick
Madden.
Cage doesn't do co-starring roles. He's Nick Cage.
Well,
right, but what I'm saying, I understand that, but there have to be other players in that, like the people from EA who are major players in that story. I don't know if you know this. John Madden, you go, no, here's the guy, and come up with the game.
By the way, stop right there. In just a snippet, that was such an excellent impersonation.
Well, that's the most I have. That's it.
Oh, that's all you need. You just passed 45 with that.
No, with a quick. Now here's the guy. That's it.
Oh, it was unbelievable how good it was. You channeled him.
Thank you.
Forget Nick Cage. You should play him.
You know what? Well,
it is weird that that's all you got.
I don't think I know how to.
It's like my Warner Wolf. Hey Don, that's all I got.
That's it.
I can't go beyond.
Yeah. Well, then that's why you don't end up breaking those ones out too often.
That was good, though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're really quite the mimic. You don't do it enough.
But you don't think Nicolas Cage, if it's not a cameo, but if it's like a one-scene thing, that he wouldn't see value in doing that?
No.
Really?
One scene?
Nick Cage?
No.
Please.
Listen, Michael's making him sound like he's Robert Downey Jr. He's not, but he's.
But you know what? Before Robert Downey
stud.
Jr. became Iron Man, Nick Cage was bigger than Robert Downey Jr.
Well, yeah, he'd been around.
Yeah, but
he's
we're
older.
talking. But his wheelhouse was a good 20, 25 years ago.
More.
Well, when was
his the true Nick Cage wheelhouse is early to mid 80s to early 2000s.
The
right?
movie he did with Taya Leone, unbelievable. What was it, Family Man? Yeah, Family Man.
Family Man.
I love Family Man.
Terrific.
That was fine film. Fine film.
Great holiday movie.
He has he's in a. It's weird to see what he ended up becoming, but he's in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, he's been around.
He also had a movie a couple of years ago where he played himself, which was really, really good.
Was it good? I thought.
Yeah, I saw it on the plane. I saw it on a plane. I think everybody watched it on a plane.
Is that one of those movies? Is it a bad sign if you only hear your movie was seen on a plane?
Yes, it's a terrible sign. But it was good.
I got to tell you something that's going on with our country. I doubt it'll be addressed tonight at the DNC or anywhere else for that matter. But Michael, it's really insane. Do you realize that, like, if you want to upgrade a ticket, if you're like, I don't want to sit 37B on a 10-hour flight to God knows where,
right?
You look at the upgrade, Michael. I'm flying KLM to Berlin.
I think it's called Clem.
I'm flying Clem to Amst. To Burl via Amst. Okay. And so the flight to Amst is like 9 hours. All right, next Thursday night.
Will you have a chance to get off at Amst? And I mean that in many ways.
I'll get off the plane in Amst, but I'm not going to leave the airport in Amst. I only have 2 hours. I'm going to get to my flight and keep it moving.
This is a nice red light district, I heard.
I'm familiar about. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
So here, Don, I'm flying KLM, which I hear is a great airline. If I want to upgrade to business class, it's $7,500.
That's ridiculous.
Now,
who does that?
Even
if you have the money, who would do that?
That's what I'm saying. What do you have to be, Don? What would you have to be worth? Where you go $7,500, over $1 billion.
Yeah,
Michael,
you're crazy.
What's your number that you go $7,500, no problem, do it?
I think if you're worth like $50 million.
Yeah, I think so. I think even $25 million, I might just go.
That would bother me though.
No, that's absolutely. Well, Don, that's like a Starbucks coffee still bothers you, but and then if I want to go, apparently Clem also has a really nice premium economy. It's its own cabin. You get better meals. You have more space. It's like business class at Jay's. Trying to go to that one's $3,500.
That's ridiculous.
It's all crazy, man.
Now you say that Nicolas Cage is above cameos.
Yeah.
But if you remember, do you remember the Grindhouse movies?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And so they had those within the Grindhouse movies.
They had the movies.
They had the trailers.
Trailers, sure.
So one of the trailers, he plays Fu Manchu. He's in it for like 20 seconds.
But this was advertised as Nick Cage starring in the John Madden movie.
Just popping up in one of those Grindhouse movies was different.
No, I'm just saying, but sometimes you could pull off just a one scene kind of thing.
I feel like it wouldn't be announced though.
Like Alec Baldwin and Glenn Ross. He's
like in the new Happy Gilmore, Travis Kelce has a cameo. And he's a big star.
But I'm saying, you know Glenn Ross,
Of
right?
course I do.
The famous scene with
No coffee.
It's 10 minutes. It's not that long.
What, the Alec Baldwin part?
Yeah.
It's the best part of the movie.
It's the best part of the movie, but it's only like 10 minutes.
He stole the movie.
Marlon Brando and Superman. Like, is it possible that he might only be in it for like 10 minutes, but it could be like a significant scene?
I don't think that's how Nick Cage rolls.
At this stage, you roll where the money is.
No, Marlon Brando rolled for $3 million in Superman.
I think Nick Cage is fine. I don't think he needs to go hustling for cash.
I think Marlon Brando got like $10 million for that spot in Superman.
$3 million.
Something ridiculous.
$3 million.
You don't know.
Listen up, baseball fans. ESPN New York is giving you the chance to score an amazing road trip and travel with the home team when New York visits Philadelphia. You and a guest can enjoy the weekend with round-trip train tickets and hotel accommodations. Now, for official rules and to enter, visit the ESPN New York app and click on Travel with the Home Team. It's all brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball, and C4 Energy. Crack open a can of C4 Performance Energy for a sip of the official energy drink of summer. We'll come back, find out who the point guard is, continue to take phone calls. We have an amazing ENN today. Get end of summer savings at Baywatch Honda.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
All right, boys, who we betting on?
However you bet, whoever you are, the sports book for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Current eligible GMC lessees can get this low-mileage lease on this 2024 Sierra Elevation for around $389 per month. We are professional-grade GMC.
Say hello to the Bronx Buds, Yes's first ever animated series for the whole family.
The crowd goes wild!
That takes you on a baseball adventure around the Big Apple. Hexclad presents Bronx Buds, now streaming exclusively on the Yes app, presented by Hexclad.
Magnifico!
don't need the same Duracell batteries that help power Williams Racing. Until you do. Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
Popeyes has the best of both wings. Our juicy chicken is marinated to perfection with 2 distinct twists on all 6 flavors. Whether you prefer our spicy bone-in wings or our classic tender white meat boneless wings, we've got the best of both.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-866-895-3521.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
At Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, being the Northeast's best cancer center means being the best for you. Pairing the most advanced treatments with the most compassionate treatment. It takes looking at every cancer from every angle. And a care team that looks out for you and everyone you care for. It takes MSK.
Here comes the heat.
Say hello to the Bronx Buds. Yes's first ever animated series for the whole family.
And the crowd goes wild.
Now streaming. Join Riv, Bash, Oscar, and the rest of their gang for a baseball adventure around the Big Apple.
Bronx pride is on the line.
Hexclad presents Bronx Buds. Now streaming exclusively on the Yes app. Powered by Buy Cow Auto Mall.
Magnifico.
When I was 19 and I was going to shows, I was not thinking about permanent hearing loss. I wasn't thinking about tinnitus.
Sometimes my kids are having a conversation with me and that ringing starts in my ear. They're talking to me and I hear their voice, but I can't focus on what they're saying.
The audiologist, he told me that most of his clients are not old people. They're kids that have their earphones in.
I have a lot of regret about not protecting my ears sooner.
Protect your ears at all times, no matter what. It's not something you can get back.
Why is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick, below the surface. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.
What if you went to your secret hiding place and found this? All drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, know that you can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
They're tied, so now this turns into a Peterbrook, not a Donnybrook, a Peterbrook. Because he has no chance tomorrow.
None chance.
None. Sad. Really is sad. Let's go to John in Battery Park. John A. John?
James Falco, Clifford Franklin were good, but, man, it's good to have you three back for sure. Just 2 quick baseball points. I think to the journey, you have to take into consideration the expectations, right? I'm a Mets fan. I'm happy with the way the season's playing out. If we sneak in the playoffs, great. I don't think we have a chance. We said it Verlander, we said it Scherzer, Vientos, Alvarez developing. So our World Series is definitely the off season. But anyway, I was thinking about the Soto trade, right? Obviously you do it 100 out of 100 times, but it was interesting. If you look at the batter's face for Michael King, it's 585. And then Juan Soto plate appearances is 566. So I know Soto plays the outfield with a .4 WAR, and King has no errors, so it's kind of close there. But it is interesting when you think of the impact of pitchers versus players.
Yeah, but I mean, you're telling me the amount of batters that are faced by Michael King, but he has what, 22 starts. Juan Soto has 125 starts. So to me, you, as you said, I guess you're referring back to Richard's point. We thank you for the phone call. I made that point yesterday. You make that trade 1,000 times out of 1,000 times. This is one of the greatest players who ever lived. Even if you had to give up, I wouldn't want to, but even if you had to give up Jason Dominguez, you'd have to do that.
Now, the better way to say it, rather than the way Richard said it or the way that it was taken, is that the Padres could still feel real good about the deal.
Right, because they weren't going to sign him anyway.
They weren't going to sign him. They didn't get nothing, and they have a player that might be part of their long-term plan, and Soto might be gone in free agency. So we might look back at it. I mean, the Padres, who knows? They might win the World Series this year. So we may fast forward a year from now. Soto's playing somewhere else. Padres win the World Series, and you go, you know what? That wasn't a bad deal for the Padres at all. Yankees still make it, but it's not one-sided, and you can make the case, depending on how you look at it, that maybe the Padres won the trade, especially if King helps them win a title.
If King helps them win a title, and the Yankees don't keep Soto, and then when you also consider that trade, the Yankees gave up Thorpe, who was one of their top pitching prospects, and then the Padres turned around and traded Thorpe for Dylan Cease, who's pitching tonight against the Mets, and he's been great.
And they had to consider in that deal, too, how multifaceted Thorpe is. Can play in the NFL, Major League Baseball.
No, it's not Jim Thorpe.
And they named a city in Pennsylvania.
No, it's not. I think you got it wrong, but it's a nice try.
Is that the wrong guy?
This portion of the Mike K Show on 98.7 ESPN brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of White Plains, proud member of the Pepe Auto Group, the name you've trusted since 1968. Let's go to John in New Jersey. John?
Hey, guys, not to backtrack because, obviously we moved past the topic, but...
No, we never move past topics, John.
Nick Cage has done a cameo. It was in that Flash movie that was horrific, but he played Superman and had, Fabio hair. And I think because of the backlash from the star of that film, that's why he no longer is part of doing cameos.
Well, I mean, I can see there are some actors that do bit roles, John, but I mean, this is the story was Nick Cage is playing John Madden in a biopic.
Right.
I don't think the John Madden character is a cameo in a John Madden pick.
But here's the thing, Michael. If you're making a movie about Madden, the video game,
right?
How much of John Madden are you really going to see?
I believe that from what I've read, Don and Peter, he had a lot to do with the way that game was put together. He didn't just want to put his name on it. He was a big part of that. The way it was presented, the way it was calibrated. I mean, he didn't do. I don't think he did the what do they call that? The coding. I don't think he did that. But
no, he was the. I feel like he was a lot of the heart and soul of it.
Yes.
But I mean, I remember this. What doc was it where we saw? Oh, it was part of the Madden story. Yeah, part of the Madden doc. They showed a decent piece about that. And we did see, and obviously it was a major part of his life because ultimately it's his legacy.
Right, and he obviously voiced in there, but I'm just wondering if it's a movie about that, there may not be a lot of John Madden. It might just be one scene.
No, I think it's going to be a lot.
I would think more than one scene, but I also would think he's not the star. I wouldn't think.
So
he's
you
the
think
lead.
that the movie is going to be around a nerd coding the Madden game?
I think the Nick Cage.
So it's going to be played by Jim Parsons of.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think I think the Madden character will be significant, but could be second or third in the film. Yeah, that could be possible.
I make you a $100 bet that he'll be the star of the movie.
I will take that bet.
All right, you got it.
Yes.
Now it's all. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if his name's on the poster, but I think when you look at that movie, there might be a couple of scenes, a handful of scenes, but he will not be the main focus of the movie.
Yeah, $100.
All right, that's fine. I want it in cash. I don't want this check garbage.
Well, how about if I Venmo? You do that?
I do.
You Venmo?
I do Venmo.
You don't even have an ATM card.
Well, I do have an ATM card.
Oh.
I just don't handle the money.
But you can go to an ATM and get money.
I can go to an ATM.
When's the last time you did that?
Whoever does that?
I do it every day.
Really?
I go to the ATM. I love to feel money.
But I don't find the need to have cash on me.
Oh, yeah? Wait till you get mugged.
But then it'd be a good that I don't have any money.
No. Then you'll really get your butt kicked. If you can hand over $200,
just get ready.
You're
okay. He's a big guy. He better be a big guy. But
how about a small guy with a gun?
Well, come on. What are you doing?
I'm just telling you.
Because now you got to root for that to happen.
No,
I know you.
Rooting. I don't want you mugged. But I want you to guard against it. You live in a fairy tale unicorn land. What's wrong with you?
That's not true. It's Don LeGreca you're talking to.
I don't know if you guys realize this, but now's the perfect time to experience the... What was that sound?
Okay.
He said, here we go.
Here we go. It's not a sound. It's actually a phrase.
To experience the luxury and craftsmanship of a new Genesis...
The Michael K. Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
This summer, live life the way you want, with comfort and style that's truly untucked. At Untuck It, we create the perfect fitting casual styles from head to toe for every body. And yes, we've got styles for her too. We believe everyone should get to look and feel their best because life's moments are better lived untucked. Untuck It. Visit untuckit.com or more than 80 stores worldwide.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Current qualified lessees can get this Equinox for around $199 a month. Or well-qualified buyers get 1.9% APR when you finance with GM Financial.
I'm former Major League pitcher David Wells. Over the years, I've been helping veterans get the medical resources they need and help them overcome their challenges. They've sacrificed so much for our country, and it's our duty to take care of them when they come home. Join us in our mission to end veteran homelessness in America. Please go to T2T.org to donate now.
Popeyes has the best of both wings. Our juicy chicken is marinated to perfection with 2 distinct twists on all 6 flavors. Whether you prefer our spicy bone-in wings or our classic tender white meat boneless wings, we've got the best of both.
This is you, and this is your first hunch of the season.
It's parlay time.
With FanDuel, a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV will give you many more.
Buffalo. It's Broncos time. Psst. I'd take the over.
And you can easily act on whichever one speaks to you.
Eagles, Browns, Broncos, Bills. They all look...
And make every moment more.
New customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. Plus, every customer gets a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV. Only from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Is Cialis Daily better than Viagra? Does it last longer than Viagra? Are trial packs available? Get started today with a 3-month trial pack if appropriate at TryRexMD.com.
Here comes the heat.
Say hello to the Bronx Buds. Yes's first ever animated series for the whole family.
And the crowd goes wild.
Now streaming. Join Riv, Bash, Oscar, and the rest of their gang for a baseball adventure around the Big Apple.
Bronx pride is on the line.
Hexclad presents Bronx Buds. Now streaming exclusively on the Yes app. Powered by Buy-Cow Auto Mall.
Magnifico.
I was diagnosed at 65.
37. Earlier than most.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association. Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
A waterfall made of fire. Goats that defy gravity. A turning point in history. A palace carved out of clay. A place where we grew wings. A thunderstorm beneath your feet. An eternal torch and an enduring dream. National parks are extraordinary. So is the support you give them.
How's everyone doing? Great. Welcome to ENN.
Ray Rowe.
Tiwi.
Yeah, that's right. Which tonight is brought to you by our friends at Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisi.
Come get some.
Yeah.
Let's start off today's big ENN by saying good evening to Don.
I want to jump on you for a second.
All right.
So if you don't mind.
And to Don.
Epic fail.
And to Don.
Fire Bone. Fire Cashman.
And to Don.
Hey, Don.
And to Don.
Let's get ready. Hope he's
You're
a big
okay.
guy. He better be a big guy.
To Don and myself. To myself. No, here's the guy.
Oh, brilliant.
That was really good.
To Mike Tyson.
David Rosenberg.
And to Paul O'Neill and Michael Kay.
Grande problem here earlier.
Yes. Yeah, that's how it all started. You know what, James? I think you knocked that over on purpose. Look at Michael. You look so frustrated. We calling people in. Well, you know what? We'll make it.
Have the pants dried yet?
No, there's nothing like having just...
Now, Michael, I had nothing worse than spilling some coffee on my pantalones.
So watching the DNC last night, I just couldn't help but think of Paul O'Neill while Bill was talking.
That's right. I did a great job last night. Me, Paul O'Neill, speaking at the DNC.
The first thing Paul said when he spilled the coffee, I wish Neville was here.
He said what?
And I wish Neville was here.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I mean, Neville, she does everything for him.
Tell him Paulio sent you.
She's got a name like a resort in the Poconos.
No, that is the name of the resort in the Poconos.
Is that true?
Yeah, at the Neville.
You didn't grow up here, otherwise you'd know that.
Maybe you should have grown up here.
Tell him Paulio sent you. Couldn't believe how old Bill Clinton is. I mean, I know, but it's still weird.
Yeah, because you were telling me that the same age as was.
I'm the same age as Chelsea.
Right.
And we went to high school, obviously in the same area at the same time. And her parents are like the same age as my parents. So seeing them all, it was such a weird, like, man, what happened to 30 years?
Well, forget 30 years. The first time he ever spoke at the convention was 1980.
First time he spoke was 80. He said he'd been at every one since 72.
72 or 76.
No, he started 76, then he fixed it when 72. Now, Obama is obviously aged in front of us as well, but his first time speaking at the convention that everyone remembers is 04. It's not that long ago. 20 years. Now, Michael, have you heard some of the speculation about rumors that there could be a special surprise guest tonight at the DNC?
No, I didn't. Who's it going to be?
There are people saying that Beyonce's showing up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Don came up with a proposition even more exciting, some would say.
But I don't think it's feasible.
This one.
Jamie, what's up, baby? You good? Jamie Carter, boy.
Introduced by Young Sav, some are suggesting.
That would be something, Mike.
It would kind of be murder.
Now, come on.
You're taking the guy out of a hospice and traveling to Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't think I like his chances. Leave him alone.
But what if it was via satellite?
That would be great.
Now, do we know if he's still communicating?
Well,
last time I texted him was a couple of days ago.
He did have a quote, but I don't know if it was something he wrote down or actually said it.
Jimmy's what 101?
No, I don't
he'll
think
be
he's
100
yet.
in October.
Oh, we got to that's around the corner. We got to get to 100.
Well, he said he's staying alive so he could vote.
Yes.
All right, because we are now. Does anybody know which way he's voting?
Well, I think you know his leanings. I'm sure.
I think he likes 45.
Is that right? I love Jimmy, jumping Jimmy.
That'd be something.
Not true. That would be a surprise take. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, the day started not great for me, guys.
What happened?
Well, for some reason, the commies decided to trade in division our 2022 first-round pick, Jahan Dotson, and a 2025 fifth-rounder to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a third-round pick and 2 seventh-round picks. So now the Eagles have their number 3 wide receiver to go along A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, which I don't think Giants fans are happy about. And I'm not happy about it.
The funny part about that trade is they also got, I don't even think the Jets realize, they got Hassan Reddick in the deal, too.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Reddick goes back to the Eagles?
Because they feel like, you know what, he hasn't gone to the Jets, so we still have him. And they traded him to Washington.
Doesn't it feel like, though, the Eagles... Don, feel me on this.
Excuse me?
Doesn't it feel like the Eagles just get people from everyone?
They're very smart.
It always feels like they're able to grab people that you go, how'd you get him? Why'd they get him? He went there, too. It always feels like they're able to make deals.
They know what they're doing over there.
Howie Roseman was pretty smart.
I guess so. I mean, I guess the real test for the Eagles this year is going to be Sirianni, right? Don, wouldn't you say this is the year we figure out if he's legit or not?
Well, he better get along with Jalen Hurts.
Well, if he doesn't get along with Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts is presumably good again, it's a wrap for Sirianni.
Do you know when the Yankees were in Philadelphia? And thank goodness they swept. Boone had to go there. He went to camp.
I know.
Loves the Eagles.
I thought it was almost like you guys almost understated it during the game when Meredith did a little hit about like how much Boone is into Philadelphia sports. I almost felt like you guys helped him out and downplayed it a bit. He's a borderline psycho. He's hardcore.
He is hardcore. And
especially
speaking of friends of football,
yeah, go ahead.
You know who Aaron Rodgers' close friend is?
Do I know who Aaron Rodgers?
He's a Yankee.
He's a Yankee.
Former Eagle. Present-day Raven. Charger.
Oh, it's got to be Stroman.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Stroman went to Jet camp the other day.
Of course.
Very tight.
Are they actually legit tight or just
legit,
like friendly?
They're legit tight, I heard.
Of course they are.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't...
It means nozzle. It means nozzle finds nozzle.
I will not have you talk about Marcus Stroman like that.
All right, I'm sure you won't.
I love that
That's
guy.
Strong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's strong.
Which part?
Well, just to throw nozzle out.
For who? Which one is it strong for? I'm sorry. Is it the one who literally makes everything about themselves and like completely turns a season into craziness even when they're not playing? Or is it the one who called my co-host a racist for no reason?
No.
Which one? Which one am I out of line for saying nozzle?
I'd like to modernize it a little bit. I mean, Stroman's been on his best behavior since he's been here.
But that doesn't mean there's not nozzle tendency.
Well, that's different than flat-out nozzle. You said nozzle, not nozzle tendency, not what he does.
No, he's a
nozzle.
He's a nozzle.
Okay, I'm not Addy. I just said
Stroman has shown us many times that at the core, left to his own devices, he's going to be that guy.
Now, this is a message to Marcus Stroman and all of his friends. Michael Kay is not saying a word about this. I'm not being dragged down, but it's Peter Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Not Michael Kay. Not a word.
Guts. The one with guts. The one with heart. The one with soul.
Michael Kay, the guy you have not said a word to all year. That's the one saying
it's not him. It's not. Yeah, for the record, it's me, the one with guts, the one who doesn't have to work at Yankee Stadium. It's me. Listen, he has been on his best behavior, and I give him props, and he's been a decent player for him, so I'm not mad at Marcus Stroman, but he has a history that is not great. Rodgers is an interesting one because he had a history of being fined for a long time, and then over the last several years, he's gotten into really nozzly territory. Now, I'm rooting for them both to do well, guys. I know that doesn't seem feasible. I am rooting for them both to do well.
Well, I mean, it is feasible that they both do well.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying, would people find it feasible that I could say both of them are a bit of a D-nozzle, but I also want them both to do well?
Why would you want D-nozzles to do well? That's a little bit counterintuitive.
Because I don't think either one is like a terrible human being. And I root for the fan bases of both teams. I want Jets fans to be happy this year. I want Yankee fans to be happy this year. You saw the way I came to the Yankees' defense yesterday. Again, speaking of nozzles, that coach of the Staten Island Little League team. You saw me standing there defending the Yanks.
You did.
I say what's right. I say what needs to be said. I like that yesterday we spent the entirety of the show, basically, talking about how Aaron Judge and Juan Soto are the only players on this team. And then what happened last night, Michael?
What happened last night?
You'd rather not say.
It was Aaron Judge and Soto.
Every RBI. 8 RBIs.
They still
between
count.
What do you say?
They still count.
No.
They're on the team.
No, they count.
Right.
It's just crazy that as we spent, it happened to be, like, I would say that was the first show where really the theme of the show was, it's Judge and Soto and nothing else.
Right. And
then that day they were
nothing but win since it was set.
That's a great point. And all they did was dominate.
Both days. Today, too.
Well, what did Soto do today?
Today, I have it right here, Peter. I did the game.
Yeah, sure.
0 for 4 today, but with a run score.
Okay. And Aaron Judge's line?
Aaron Judge was 1 for 3, a home run, his 48th of the year, and he was intentionally walked. And by intentionally walking him to load the bases, Austin Wells followed with a sac fly, and then Giancarlo Stanton hit a 3-run home run to seal the game.
It was Stanton's day.
Now, do the Stanton haters who call and complain that he's not hustling, do they still complain when he jacks a 3-run homer?
No, he didn't run around the bases fast enough.
No, yeah. They'd like to see a little more.
It did take a while, but not because he just, that's him.
Also, I'm excited to let you guys know that my Commanders have a kicker. I'll pay you $1 million if you can guess who it is.
Pete Gogolak.
Twice in a week. Cade York.
Ali Haji Sheikh's son.
I love Ali Haji Sheikh.
Garrow, you premium.
No, Cade York.
That's a kicker name. That's a good name.
Didn't it? They traded for him, right? Just now.
Yeah, they traded for him today. They had released Brandon McManus back in May.
And I got to tell you, I feel slightly disrespected.
Go ahead.
Whenever we have a group thread and I throw out like a joke or make a line and no response.
When did that happen?
That happened the other day.
When?
When Cade Smith came into the game.
Oh, I thought that was a terrible line by you.
Well, it's like every time I hear Cade Smith, I'm expecting "God Bless America." Well, just give me a.
But I mean, first of all, you shoot that at me as I'm doing a game. I don't think that warranted me like being distracted.
A mid-game.
Well,
yeah, that's not a mid-game response.
I'm not mad at any individual, but the collective, not even a response.
Yeah,
not
because
even
it was pedestrian at best.
Well. There's a lot of pedestrian in our text.
Yeah.
They get response. If it was Michael, if it was you, forget about it. There'd be sticky fingers with getting responses back.
Because, I can help people, Don.
Oh, my God. That's right. What's the name
of the 3 more months.
What's the name of the golfer lady who the New York Post loves again?
The who lady?
Paige. Yeah, so he won't respond to a joke from you. But bottom of the 9th, full count, Judge at the plate, he could send me a Paige Spiranak post.
Right, without hesitation.
You never know.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Coffee could be all over the table. Big pitch in the game doesn't matter. Like, I'm not saying that I'm George Carlin, but Cade Smith.
You're not even Chris Carlin.
I knew that. I could have taken the words out of your mouth. It was so predictable.
I didn't hear him. I'm sorry.
He said
you're not even Chris Carlin.
No, by the way, Chris has done so much, and the only drop we play of him is him going, That's the best we got for Chris. Oh, that's unfortunate. What else do we have from Chris? I mean, he might. You know what? When
calorie card. I'm about to say.
In a day.
I believe that Michael was the only one that got my joke.
I didn't even pay attention to it. So that's a bad job by me.
I get everything you say, Don.
Tell me, Michael.
Mickey Tettleton.
Oh, I gurgle. I am absolutely a galoot.
That's a great. That sums up Chrissy.
I am absolutely a galoot.
Chrissy, and I'm Chrissy. Let's hear from Aaron Judge talking about his partner in crime over there, Giancarlo Stanton.
It's huge. We just need, when G's G, good things are going to happen. He's been swinging the bat well. He comes up big in clutch moments like that. A couple walks in front of him, and then, he takes care of business. And we're going to need him down the stretch, that's for sure.
Man, that got me talking about Aaron Judge. He's got a man's voice. I mean, he sounds like a man.
You know what Caitlin Clark said about him, right?
No.
I said, you're standing next to him. What'd you think? She said, he's big, and he's swole.
Swole.
So her nickname for him is Big Swole? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't go that deep, but he is swole.
That's a drop. You shouldn't have said that. There was no need to.
Listen, I can't run my life about drops. I just can't.
No, you're above it.
I'm above it. If you want to do it, have at it.
Let's talk to Brian Dable, like Table, for a second. Coach, how do you feel about the Giants wide receiver core?
I like that they're fast and quick. They can run. They can create some separation. Again, some are shorter, some are taller, but they're young. Obviously, Slade's got some experience, so we'll keep growing.
Stop. After you say some are shorter, some are taller, I stop listening to you, sir.
You know what? You just went a little too long.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know what? He was good. The first
epic fail.
First 3 quarters of that were great.
Yeah.
And he just, he should have just tapped out. He went too far.
Oh, look, they got a McAfee Stephen A. Smith commercial together. This is a $40 million
There's
commercial.
our company right there.
Yeah. By the way, every
Throw in Greenberg, too.
Hey, babe, if you want to know why you're not getting a Hanukkah present, look at this commercial.
Oh, there goes your boy Greeny.
Oh, my God, Greeny's in it, too.
That's it.
430.
That's the company.
There's 430 jobs in one room.
Matter of fact, I'm really surprised. Honestly, I'm really surprised they took the chance of putting all three of them in the same room at the same time.
Wait, they put Greeny in there?
Yes.
Yeah, one thing they won't do, they will not fly them on the same plane.
I was just saying, that's almost like putting the president and the vice president together.
Yeah, you
They
can't
kept
do that.
SVP away, though.
Yeah, no. That was the daytime
Wow.
TV.
That's it.
Wow. It was a
That's
commercial. It was a commercial for the
company. That was it.
Yeah, for ESPN essentially.
That's it.
No, really, was it for ESPN or ESPN
Yes.
Bet?
No, it's for ESPN. It's for the lineup.
This is the way the Mount Rushmore would go. Or if you wanted to say the four pillars of the network. In any order, Stephen A., Greeny, McAfee, and then literally everyone else.
No, I think Van Pelt.
No. I love the guy, believe me.
Van Pelt does very well.
Then they would have put him in the commercial.
Van Pelt is what the answer should be.
Of course,
that's what. Yeah, that's what the answer 100% should be. That's an interesting debate.
Well, you know what? Joe Buck's pretty important if you're looking at average annual value.
Yeah, but as we know, Joe Buck's in terms of value, yes. But if Joe Buck stopped working tomorrow and they gave Rocky the dog the same job, the ratings don't go down 1%.
What did it kill them?
What?
To just say good point, Don.
About what?
Instead of just painful. You can even
the Cade Smith thing.
Him coming up with names.
No, but he defended a point that he believes that SVP should be there. That's a fair argument.
So you want me to say good point, Don? When I say SVP, you go no. You just shoot me down.
Yeah, but why can't Michael's point be as valid as your point?
Because that's how Don's world works.
What do you mean? What did he?
Don's world works. World revolves around
why
Don.
not throw out Aikman?
You're right, Aikman too.
I'm just saying those.
I think Mike Green should also be on that hill.
Play-by-play guys are just in a different situation. Yeah. These guys are the ones that people are tuning in to watch them yap during the day.
This is the day in, day out, Michael.
My parents are so sweet, by the way. I guess my dad saw the news, and my dad goes, "Hey, I saw your friend Greenberg. Mike Greenberg got a thing. Like, are you happy?" And I went, well, yeah, I'm happy, Dad, because I love Greeny, and he deserves everything he gets. But, I mean, the guy has literally done everything there is to do in broadcasting. I didn't go, oh, thank God someone's given Mike Greenberg a look.
Or does your dad misunderstand how it works? Like, we can't swing by his cubicle and shake his hand.
No, my dad does not probably understand that while Mike Greenberg goes and works in our beautiful downtown facilities,
we're in a deserted building on the Upper West Side.
No, there are only two ways I can communicate with Greeny. I can send him a text message, or I can wait to see him at the suite. I'm never going to see him in this hellhole.
But sometimes parents don't understand. Like my mom.
Oh my God! Like reverse of Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
My mom thinks that if I need a day off, I have to ask Michael.
Well, you know what? Technically,
Can't
that's
Michael
true.
give you a day off? Why do you have to work every single day? Like, oh, Peter's off again? I was like, yeah, Mike, it's vacation. Well, why can't you ask Michael for a day?
Which, by the way, Michael, you know what that probably means? If she feels that way about you being the all-control, it means she probably hates your guts.
Of course, probably. She absolutely does.
Yeah, does that
because Don's filling her head with this guy's the worst, what an egomaniac.
Right. Of course. Well, those are natural things that happen. But if you add that on top of the fact that she thinks you're the boss, that's tough.
No, she's not a fan.
He
is swole.
Well, don't put that right after something talking about my mom. And then you throw the swole in right after that?
He is swole.
It makes it seem like that he's talking about my mom.
No, that doesn't make sense. Why would she call your mom he?
He is swole.
But
he's big. And he's swole.
By the way, I haven't gotten to see you, Michael. How was Caitlin Clark? Was she a delight?
She was so sweet, Peter, and so good on the air. She was just so great.
And she is absolutely bawling.
She's the real deal. I mean, talk about somebody who just gets it. She was like down by the Yankee batting cage before the game, the indoor one. And she was easily talking with all these stars. She was like talking with Hal Steinbrenner. She just gets it, man. She's one of those blessed people that she gets her role.
She is currently, for those wondering, leading the WNBA in assists as a rookie. She, of course, as we've talked about, is going to get, in spite of the great year from Angel Reese, she will end up Rookie of the Year. She's also 12th in points as well.
Now, she's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was not all hype. She's at almost 18 points a game, guys. I mean, she is a transcendent player. I was very jealous that day.
That when she was in the booth?
That's right.
Yeah, I can see why.
That's a good get right there, Michael. That's one of the better in booth gets you've had in some time.
We had Joe Torre today. He was great.
Well, you know what? With all due respect, I mean, Joe Torre's been in the booth before.
Not that often.
I mean, he's part of the fabric of the Yankees.
It was at our 20th anniversary.
Yeah, he came to our 20th anniversary for God's sake.
You know what? If we have a 25th, she's coming.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. That'll do it
she's
for
coming, or that there's a
no. Matter of fact, how about this? If we have a 25th, I guarantee she'll come. I'll make it happen myself.
All right.
That'll do it for ENN, brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Make This the Summer event.
All right, so let me ask you, Peter. Let me ask you, Peter.
Sure.
You're betting on ESPN Bet.
Yeah.
What's the higher odds? There's a 25th year, or Caitlin Clark shows up?
I think they're both at plus 1,200.
Billy Joel, do your thing.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, Yankees Classics, the clinching Game 6 of the 2009 World Series against the Phillies. For all of us here on the Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock.